So clearly Mark he's failed on his vlogging duties. What were you meant to do?
Remind Nevaeh.
What were you meant to do?
Film the fridge scenario. Don't bring it.
So basically, Mark went and picked up the fridge today with Nevaeh, who's now walking off there. And he was meant to be doing the vlogging for the first time.
I brought her with me to video it.
So this is what we've got. So it's a
fridge.
It is a 12 volt fridge. It's not been used before, so it's fantastic for us. It came out of a yacht for that. But yeah, super cool. So it's brand new, which means that we got a complete bargain for this, which is really cool. Yes. So this is actually our first proper appliance, really, for the van, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
See, there's like such a huge height difference between us.
Well, I'm still looking at
let's swap. You hold. There you go. That makes no difference. You're a dingbat. So no, first appliance. Next one, oh no, I can't hold it that way. Next one is being collected. I can't do that. Yeah, there we go. The next one is getting collected Wednesday.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
You just tell me and I have to go and pick it up.
Mm-hmm. So actually our next plan, apart from getting the oven, is we're still debating about the seating. We do have one place that we could possibly get 3 chairs from, but that's a discussion for tonight. We really need to work that one out. And then the thing that we're actually going to start working on is the floor. But to do the floor, we have to do the wheel arches first. So it may take a little while to get Mark used to recording. As I've just come in to find him doing this.
You've got a spare 5 minutes, you might as well crack on, haven't you?
You had, but just explain to everybody what it is that you're doing right now.
I'm filling the holes, so where the buttons were originally, obviously the holes are fresh, so you can see where I've come across.
Hang on. So what he's talking about is these types of holes here. So when we took up the battens, of course, the battens were screwed into the floor.
I'm just treating them with rust protection metal paint. That's what it says on the tin. So yeah, just to make sure that they don't rust and the floor doesn't dissolve underneath our feet. Ensuring that all the metal that's on show is treated to ensure that we preserve the length of the body floor as long as possible.
What were some of the reasons that we took up the battens?
I think it's more of a personal. I can't do that. Sorry, my knees are coming. I think it's more of a personal preference. For me, the battens were running from front to back. I prefer them to go from left to right, or left to right, right to left. So run across the body. It'd be better, especially for the boarding that we're going to put down. Apply sheets on top of the floor. You'll be able to hit the joints in the right centres. From
my perspective, one of the reasons that we've taken up the battens is because we want to make sure that the battens also match where we need to put the things like the kitchen cabinets and that type of thing. So we need to make sure that a lot of the strength is going to be where we're screwing different items in: shower, kitchen, seating area, that type of stuff. So we kind of need those battens to match the layout that we're personally having. So that's one of the reasons. One of the other things that we need to do is over here. So this is where the pipe goes, but as you can see, it's not sealed, which then means that the vapor barrier is pretty much, well, that's not helping the vapor barrier, put it that way. So I need to find some way of seal that effectively. At this moment in time, I think the best way of me being able to do that is to have like a plastic plate. You know, it's like square around the outside and it has the section in the middle for the pipe to go through. And then we can seal that with the foil tape. And then what that will do is it will create a sealed unit, meaning that the vapor barrier and the insulation isn't compromised, because if there's any gaps, then moisture can get in and it basically renders that useless. So that's another thing that we need to do. Another thing that we're going to try and do, and hopefully if we get the materials before the weekend, we'll do it this weekend, is to the wheel arches that Mark is currently painting right now. So we will put in, well, it's not technically really the insulation, it's more the silver vapor barrier. So let me just turn this around. So this stuff here, this is not really for helping insulated. What it's there for is to keep the vapor out. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to try and link a really good video by Greg Virgo, who shows you why it's so important to have this vapor barrier and the insulation. I'll link it in the description so you can see it. So yeah, so let's just carry on with the floor. Okay, Mark, so what are you doing? We're on Sunday, by the way, so we're on Sunday, just about to do the van. This is the first time we've really properly done any work to the van, I feel.
Moving forwards.
Yeah.
Don't want taking it backwards. This is forwards, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, true. So what's happening now?
Okay, so we are going to barrier the wheel arches.
Okay, so we're putting a vapor barrier on. I'm just going to show you. Cool.
With sticky. So my idea, we've already had a falling out over there, haven't we, Tracy?
Yes, we have.
Is to, as I've done one earlier, repeater style.
Yep.
Let's make a template. So all I've done, so I've just offered up cardboard, like so.
Yep.
Well, I've got my trusty pencil.
Yep.
And I've just marked it up and around.
Yep.
So I've gone off the high point of the wheel arch, obviously that's the low point.
Yep.
High point, and I've just gone around and marked it.
Okay.
Giving us a template.
And there's Ruby Roo. He's not very well at the moment, are you, Roo? He got an ear infection, and so yeah, his usual bouncy self is just all forlorn and feeling a bit sorry for himself right now. Back to Mark.
So,
Do you want me to come in closer? I think that is a good idea.
The people before us have obviously insulated it.
Yep.
And put this vapor barrier over the top. However, as you can see here, they've got a good sort of fingernail width in before it hits the metal, and then it's that flush. And being the OCD person I am, can't be having that. So I'm going to cut it, I'm going to slot it in, and then we'll seal it with the silver tape, the barrier tape that we've got.
Yeah.
To make sure the barrier.
Good idea. I concur.
Hello, Grace.
Hi.
Go on, so there you go. So I've pushed it back.
So let's just see how much. That is actually quite a bit, isn't it? So yeah. Well done. Cool.
So yeah, we've got some gaps here. You can see where it's all being pushed in. However, we've got a nice seal. So what we're doing, there's a lump there, Grace, you're alright. That's my fault. Got a fold. We've put some seal tape on here, as well as a joint across here.
Yep.
Well, we just go all around that bit there. So make a nice, good seal.
Cool.
So, how are you doing, Trace? What are you doing?
I am cutting smaller pieces of the foil because it's so wide, which is amazing for the floor, and then cutting them in half for the back bits and then in about thirds for the front bits, and just doing it in small sections, and that means that I can get as close to the edge as possible. So I'll show you what I mean. If I bend it over slightly, make sure it doesn't go to the edge, and then I'm literally pushing it in to the edge, so then there's no gaps, and then pushing it down.
Excellent. You don't want over here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do these ones.
Dad, don't forget me.
I'm coming, Selena. I'm coming to you now.
So Grace has been helping as well. She's doing these strips. So this one I cut into thirds, as it doesn't need to be as wide.
Okay.
This camera stands on mine of its own. Oh.
And then she'll do these bits here.
Can I help?
Grace?
Okay. Start at the bottom.
Hello, Lena.
Hello.
You were working on the van today as well?
Yeah.
What are you doing today?
Scrubbing.
Scrubbing what?
The van.
You're doing the rusty part here, aren't you? So you're... Go on then. That's it. Taking off all the loose parts and then do some painting on it in a minute, aren't we? I'm going to put some...
I want to do painting.
Uh-oh.
Please.
Just a little bit though.
I'm doing the painting. Yes.
Anti-rust paint in it. We'll do that in a minute.
I love painting.
What are you doing, baby?
Trying to figure out how far to space the battens off. I was going to go off battens every 400 millimeters,
Yep.
40 centimeters to you, Tracy, and work the way back through there. So I've put the first one down, just nice and tight. It's the end there. I'll work back off 400. So all I'm doing is going along and marking the floor of where the next batten would be. So
There's Soraya.
Hello.
And there's our essentials. I actually made tea. So anyone that actually knows me, I made tea. Not even coffee. I've actually made tea, and Roo still in the same spot. Yeah.
So,
Okay, cool. So you're going to cut the buttons and you're going to put those down now, yeah?
let's begin.
Okie dokie.
Are we going to say about our potential purchase? That's something coming?
Wow, you've just kind of given a little bit of a secret away, so I
just
guess you're going to have to
purchase, so I
say.
didn't really kind of go into detail.
Oh.
So we're going to go so far with the buttons up to the where the sliding door is, because we may potentially have come across some seats that we're going to be able to install inside the van. So fingers crossed.
Oh yeah, yes. So once we've got the seats, that means that we can travel with them, even if the rest of it is not finished or anything yet. And so, like Mark said, he's going to just button up to the sliding door. So do basically half the van, 3/4 of the van, until we definitely know about the seats. But that might be a collection later on today. Whoop whoop. Thanks for watching us on week 2 of our van build, and do catch us on the next video where we share the rest of week 2 and exactly how far we managed to get with the floor. And don't forget, we're also going to share what happened with those seats that we mentioned. Have we managed to get them so that the girls can finally get to sit in the van? So please do like, subscribe, and don't forget, we do love to hear your comments and all of your suggestions, so please do leave them in the comments below. Take care.